Okay, so welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gelmer, and I am a podcast engineer here. And uh, we're excited to bring you another episode of the World of Ability, which we do here every single Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And so the show has been going on for the last 4 years. It started on July 26th, 2020, which is the 30th anniversary of the Kids with Disabilities Act. And by our own Kurt Osgoff and our partner Marcus Hart of Transforming Media. And so a little bit of my involvement or connection with this is that I do have a diagnosis of autism, and have been with the Autism Society of South Central Wisconsin the last several years here, and we've been planning a yearly adult autism conference, and which this year is coming up here in just a few weeks on November 2nd. And so we're gonna have some speakers and discussions and so on. And so the things about the annual conference is about bringing together the disability community as well as the non-disability community to have help with the communication between both groups, and to see how they could collaborate and so on. And so that's been a good experience. And so kind of the show is kind of about all abilities. It's glad to be here. And kind of about who you are, what you do. And so we have a number of different things going on here, as well as a number of different podcasts. And so I am going to bring up a bit of a slideshow here to show everybody. Bring it up here. And so we have some weekly podcasts, and there are a couple that are monthly. And we have some other groups that we are working with here. And so things that we got involved with 4 years ago. The second half of 2020 is the Happy Neighborhood Project. And so the Happy Neighborhood Project, or HNP for short, is a kind of a business networking group that was started by Edwin Edberry a number of years ago. And Edwin is originally from Nigeria, but is now in California. And Edwin is our Chief Happiness Officer, our CHO. And he is about spreading happiness around the world. And uh, 2009, during the recession, he went out and talked to over 1,000 people about happiness, and was asked to do a TEDx talk, as well as was recognized by the United Nations in 2014 for of his work in global happiness. And so the Happy Neighborhood Project has a number of different weekly events, and have all been co-hosts last few years of three different meetings, and on the platform of Go Brunch, and so we have meetings and have breakout rooms to connect with other people. And there's also a co-op connected with this as well. And you can earn points attending the different events, attending different things, and the Bridge project has had a couple of big events, being the International Day of Happiness, which I believe in 2012, several years ago, the United Nations officially set March 20th as the official International Day of Happiness Day. And so the Happy Neighborhood Project has had an event. I think usually like a Friday, that's Friday before March 20th, or this year in 24, we actually had it right on March 20th. And we've had a Global Happiness Summit October as well. And with both events, we've had on the platform called Hop In, and it's just being a 6-hour event with different speakers and vendor booths and speed networking and prizes and giveaways, and awards, and it's been a really great event or both events, and so these are both yearly events, and so these next few are going through different podcasts here in the network. And the first couple here are few that we're hosting, and the rest of them are somebody else's show, and we are just kind of helping out in the background, so recording or live streaming and so on. But obviously starting out with this Rollerability, which is the flagship show of the network. Show every Saturday, and start at 1 p.m. Central, and again, And then we have Ability MK now, which is connected with, which is every Wednesday. And it's a 29-minute show that's connected with a community radio station in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And whoever runs it at 7:30. It's been going for like 8 years. And then the TDC Today Show, which is connected with the Disability Channel, that is kind of headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And so this is a weekly show too. That's immediately following Ability MK now. So this would be at 8 o'clock p.m. Central. And the Disability Channel is all about TV, radio, media, stuff, and so on, and showcasing abilities and giving people with disabilities, persons with disabilities, as well as our veterans. And so, Blue Collar Crypto is every Sunday. And Tim Trojan. And it's kind of about business tips, crypto and so on for blue collar workers. And we have ADHD Mission Monday, which is with our friends at Project I Heard, Ryan Gibson and Project I Heard. And Project I Heard is kind of about bringing hope to veterans and supporting our veterans and helping to combat the veteran suicide rate, which is seemingly going in the wrong direction. And so, this is every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Central. And then Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Central, we have the SB Bridge Show with Suzanne. And this is all about like diagnosis of Asperger's or autism, and have helping and anything like life kind of connected with that and helping people through that. And then we have on Tuesday evenings, we have the World of Pets with Debbie Hayes at 8 o'clock p.m. Central, and kind of all about our furry friends. Our furry friends and so it's a little bit of a connection to a medicinal mushroom for immune support and so on. And then we have Wednesday morning. Yeah, okay, good days here, but Fridays on Fridays at 3 p.m. Central. We have Conversation for All with Christian, who's with EC Marketing for All. And it's a little bit of a networking show. Been doing for the last couple months here. And then I guess I don't have on here. I should have on here is Wednesday mornings we have mastery of connections with our friend Alan Holmes. And that is all about like making connections as well. And all the networking connections, and it's all about, as Sam likes to say, it's not about me, it's about we. Um, and also on Fridays, right after Conversation for All, we have Revolutionize Your Marketing, with Mill City Marketing MA and John Petros. And this is kind of all about marketing and promoting yourself or your organization out there, and the importance of that. And so all these I've been saying about our weekly shows, but these next couple are a monthly show that we do our help with. So the Listen program with Sean, who is out of Australia. And so this is like the last, it would be Monday morning in Australia and Sunday evening here in the US. And it's sort of about listening and what he's been doing, about listening and life and kind of what he does in his organization. And then monthly on the second Friday of the month, we have the World of Nutrition with Marilyn, who is out of Hawaii. And so the show is kind of about nutrition, kind of different lifestyle things as well. And so the pack channel, actually, gotta have things a little bit out of order here. So the pack channel with Zach Clayton, we have Zach get the show started, and it's kind of connected with his All Coming Together program that he has with his organization Community Pay It Forward. And so PACT actually stands for Podcasts All Coming Together. And so this is kind of kind of connected with his organization about the kind of a certain percentage of sales then goes to a nonprofit of your choice. And then just like an hour and a half ago, we got done or did the shakedown, or the 12 o'clock shakedown, 12 o'clock noon, or 12 o'clock central. Yeah, I can talk to 12 o'clock shakedown, which is 12 o'clock noon here central time. This was started by somebody here in the Madison area that was feeling the effects of COVID when COVID first started. And so we got a bunch together to start this, and 15 minutes of music and motion that we live streamed to Facebook as well as YouTube and other places. And the video is just moving to have like a change their days, kind of sitting for long periods of time. And then after the 15 minutes, we followed by a friend of ours named Mark, who tells us kind of the any fun holidays or by musician birthdays or Hansfield's birthdays or any like trivia of the day. Everything's going on. And then after that, it's just a little bit of like a social time. Anybody wants to stick around to chat at all. And so that's a fun thing we've been doing every single day for the last few years here. Um, and then we are working with a platform called Easy Expo, which is a virtual booth platform. And we're having a couple of events connect this. You'll probably see that Marianne Waikiki joined us. So, welcome, Marianne.
Aloha.
Welcome, Marianne. How is it going? Marianne, would you like to remind everybody about who you are, what you do? Or what's new in your world as of late? I guess while we're waiting for Marianne to come back here, back to talking about what else we have going on here. So back to Easy Expo. So it is a virtual booth platform that's like at or maybe at a conference. But this is virtual and year round, and you can register as an attendee and be able to see the other booths that are there and be able to connect with anybody from any of the other booths. And we are having a couple events coming up here next couple months. The first one being just a couple weeks here on October 24th. The other one being December 5th. Between noon and 6 Central, 1 and 7 Eastern, or 10 and 4 Pacific. And so a bit about learning a little more about Easy Expo, or in like a demo of what Easy Expo looks like and so on, as well as if anybody would like to for me to host set up a booth for you, that can be certainly taken care of. With like a logo or graphic, an intro video to your organization, and then any links to there's like social media pages or websites, or any documents. Anything you'd like to any other videos, anything you'd like to share out to anybody. And we also have a place where we can list any events that you're having as well. for others to see and attend if they are interested and available. And as well, and then with the event would be other, as well as going through UC Expo, be like other speakers, um, talking about different topics as well. Um, so I'd love to have everybody join us. So if you are interested in that, please let me know, and you can get that taken care of. And so just while I'm talking about the few events coming up here, we are working with a guy out of Florida named Stu, who has the Stu and Lori Variety Hour, variety show. And he is doing a telethon on December 15th. And so we're working with him on that, um, as well as we are working with a holiday event. As well with around Santa Papa John and another Santa out of the UK. As well as with the community pay it forward for a holiday event, a 37-hour recorded holiday event over Christmas between December 24th through the 26th. And so there's some exciting events coming up. And uh, so I'd love to have anybody join us for any of those things. And just gonna talk about now. I was thinking of nonprofit community for the whole nonprofit thing. We are working with we're connected with a nonprofit TV network out of Texas, um, which is looking to promote all of the great nonprofits out there, and love to have everybody, if you don't have one already, to like to send me. Can help you create between a 30-second and 2.5-minute video about about your nonprofit, and uh, your nonprofit and your either connection with it, or even if it's just a nonprofit that you're or how you're helping nonprofits. You can promote that on your Facebook, on the Facebook page as well. And then we are also working with I'm a working board member of Major League Network, which is another economic solution. And it's of helping people, but not necessarily always financially. There's like 8 different parts, uh, 8 different uh, 8 different things connected with that. And we are kind of pulling each other along, which helps our puts on sports games for kids with disabilities. And we are also connected with Shine Music Festival out of the Denver, Colorado area. And so Shine Music Festival it's been a yearly event the last few years here. Um, usually in like usually in like August. Um, and it's about creating having like a music festival for everybody, even making music festival more accessible and then having disabilities on their own separate areas for having disabilities be able to access the whole grounds. Um, and uh, and we are also we're in the spirit of the game, which I guess here's their Zoom for the show. Um, that they are a global organization all about making an impact and um, accountability and your area of work and so on. And we're working on No Card, which is all-in-one marketing tool that is both a phone app as well as like a website, online like website. That's kind of like referrals and some messaging system has their own little social media um, part of it as well. Everything's like that. And tracking, working with Wikipedia, which is a nonprofit East Coast. That's all about education and youth development and especially with high school and college age students and their families. I finally I'll just get into employment stuff afterwards. And then we are so with the Great Discovery, which is have a platform where you can like take courses as well as if you have your own courses that you've created, you can put them up there as well. And then I also connected with Treasure Island, which is a um, TV show that's the rest is of being created at the moment. Um, and I also acted with the yeah, acted with Veterans or Interests, which is about uh, equine therapy for with our veterans. And then that's before of the South Central Wisconsin Autism Society, our autism conference, kind of here in less than a month. And then, so that is a few things that we have going on here. Um, and then I guess but I can go through um a little bit of uh, their easy expo here. having a kind of a demo session today. But we'll love to have everybody join us in any of our events that we are doing. So please connect with us and we can get taken care of. But saying here, so the link is easyexpo.biz/abilityfest. And so when you go to this link here, or go to that link, you'll come up with this page and you can click the either orange or blue join now button. And so when you click the join now button, it'll come up to this where you can put in your and information here to sign up as an attendee. And so after you put in the information, click sign up, then we go back to this page that we were initially on here. And we click the blue sign in button up in the right hand corner. And we can log in here. And log in here, Cook. To show everybody. So it should come up to this lobby where I've got event here listed at the moment, but we're gonna list if anybody has any events that they have going on, and we can list them here. So everybody can see the different
Welcome to
events,
the virtual expo.
different events that they can attend. And then we have a virtual hall here that has different categories. And so everybody would be put into this featured hall, but you can also be put into a other category here as well. And if you don't see the category that you would prefer to be in, or what your business is, or anything like that, so please let me know. I can certainly add that category on here. And so I'm gonna go into the feature hall here. And I see some of the foods that are already up here. I click on exhibitor there. These are all the organizations that have a booth here. And so I'd love to have you be listed here. Have your organization listed here is in this list of listed here with having a booth. And so let's see if I can find a one here. So if we go to one of the booths here, so you're gonna have your logo and graphic here, and then I could intro video, and we're gonna have announcements of any thing coming up that you'd like to announce, you can put that. There's also this one at the moment. But you can have like on this booth, you're gonna have feature content, so you can have any like links. It's like a little bit to come up here. Oh, so we're gonna have announcements. You're gonna have any like links to your website, social media, so on over here. Again, so text chat, there's place for text chatting, there's also a video chatting as well with other people. And then you have the auditorium here. Where if you have like other whether it's a like a podcast episode or another video to it's a video to like one of your podcast episodes or to a video of another event that you did or something like that. We can also put them on here. Yeah, the few that we have up here are either of a past episode, a past podcast episode that we did, or few of these I think are little videos that somebody will send us to put up here. So I can certainly do that for everybody. And then have a lounge to everybody chatting and chatting here as well. But that is a little bit of Easy Expo. So and so we are also stop sharing the screen here. Part of there's different things here. We also do a couple of things on Clubhouse as well. And so uh, um, Clubhouse as well. So like Thursday evenings. So as Saturday evenings, so coming up this evening um, at 6 o'clock p.m. Central, we have the ability now to kind of come and hanging out. I get to know everybody better. And if anyone wants to hang out on Clubhouse this evening, to let me know. And that we have another thing here. So there is the Happy Neighborhood Project website. And so the Happy Neighborhood Project is as the happiest place in the world for business people. And so some smiles here. If you click events here, so we have networking is the weekly meetings that we have every week. So we have posting party. So we have there is a doing a bunch for in there to network and 24/7. So it's open 24/7. They got use posting party Monday evenings. And the rest of these are the other, well, the days, the networking lounge. Mondays is every weekend Mondays. The rest of these are weekly on their days here. And so to so you don't need to register. All you need to is click on this link to go to meeting. Should take you to go brunch. And so I'd love to see everybody on any of these different events. And so I was looking for co-hosts. And so I like to vote with being a co-host, let us know as well. But there are also different classes here as well to click on and join. And we also have a directory here of what's we're calling the verified happy businesses. So they are to listed in this directory. So you can come into this directory. I should say if you're looking for not sure if you're looking for a casino cards, I can go to this and get into this note cards, but I see that we have Barbara here. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. Could you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm life?
Here to say what I'm doing today, and I'm not done, so I have to just get back to it, is getting information for lawyers and trying to talking about contractors in South Florida and how you have to be so careful because they'll get insurance just to get the job, and then they let the insurance lapse, and then if they're doing something wrong, what you get to hear is they don't have insurance, so from your lawyer, so we can't help you. So so to let people know, you have to be so careful dealing with, I guess, contractors anywhere, but especially in South Florida.
Yeah.
And even the motor mediation people. Yeah. And I'm trying to learn how to be nice and still know how to protect my interests. rather than just sure whatever you say, which is what you want to do when you're wanting to be a nice person and believe in people, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we have to all become intelligent human beings.
Right.
Yeah, when we're in a world where people are being so motivated by their need to create more money or their thought that they need to create more money,
Right.
like for their own families, we can learn a lot, I think, from the African culture. I think from Kwanzaa and all, where they talk so much about people being community, and caring about each other. And
Yeah.
in a film that's a documentary that I'd recommend to everybody called Children Full of Life. It's about a fourth grade class. I've done that before, I know. It's a fourth grade class in Japan that was following Nakaguchi's principles about what children need to know, what we want them to learn is how to be happy. That we think their lives are precious and they deserve to be happy and how to care
No,
about for each other.
I just want to finish with you. So, they sell that.
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't think I've heard of that video.
You saw it.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Wow. It's joyful. It's encouraging to watch these like fourth graders caring about each other.
Right.
So this is how I look when
I might have to check that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's uplifting, encouraging. This is how I look when I haven't
I'm just
got.
telling you, I share this story. I come back, Kevin's like, where you been? Hi.
Hi.
I'm Marianne.
Hi, do I look different? I got a fur on. I'm in Vancouver.
A perm. A what? What did you do?
I got a fur on. I'm in Vancouver, Canada now, eh? I'm not in
Uh,
Hawaii anymore, Kansas. So
Or
Barbara, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me okay?
I can hear you and see you in the
Wonderful.
fur.
In a fur. So Barbara, I went to the library yesterday and I found out it was the story time for the 0 to 2 and the 2 to 5 year olds in the morning. Last week I found out, and I called them and said, hey, I'm in town. I'd like to book sign. And you have to fill out stuff, but they never got back to me, but I spent a press release. So anyway, I stopped in yesterday and I've learned a few different things. I'm on here saying this. Um, it would have been a great opportunity, but the children really wouldn't have been able to pay attention because I watched them not paying attention to the story reader.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson of my value of my time as a book author. And I know that they can benefit for being a baby sign language book also too. But guess what happened? A beautiful interpreter came over from Canada. Well, first what happened was this lady walked in with which I found out was her brother-in-law with a cochlear implant, and he's in his 40s. And I asked him if he could do sign language, and that started the conversation. And we were talking. Then a sign language interpreter came in with a couple other lovely ladies, and we ended up talking about my books, the sign language, the puppets. I told them about Awesome Foundation, how I won the grant, and we are gifting the Waikiki Hawaii School for the Deaf on Monday, October 14th with Leon McLaughlin, who's going to be joining us, and getting the books, the puppets, the coloring books, and a water unit from that $1,000 that I won, and sharing the story that everybody can apply for it, just like Oprah. I was doing it, and you can win, and you can win, and you can win $1,000. You can apply here in Canada. They want them. I want awesome projects. And they loved it. I had a great time yesterday with them. The universe kind of provided, and I'm sharing it with you too. I kind of learned my value of my time, of the audience. If I do a book signing, because the parents are just so distracted with chasing their young top infants around, but showing them the fact that it's baby sign language of I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diapers. I had a little one keep bringing me little trains and trucks. So you can sign, but it's a matter of their attention span.
You'll
And
you'll enjoy you'll
but it
enjoy
was a
this.
great.
One of the most popular shows right now. You know that children that babies want to watch. You know the 2 to 4 year olds are wanting to watch on YouTube, or I don't know wherever you get those kid shows from. Is a woman, and she's helping children communicate with words and teaching them sign language and teaching them sign language at the same time. And
Yeah.
she's one of the most popular. You know, you've got Josh and Blues Clues, and you got Blippi, and you got, what's her name? Talia Makes It. But this woman is more children want to watch her, and she's teaching
Yeah.
sign. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And we appreciate all the interpreters doing it. And the interpreter appreciated me, and everybody was excited to meet me. And, you know, it was very inspirational to talk with colleagues in conference, so to speak. Like I said, there's nothing wrong. I just learned kind of like you have to balance an age gap. And it was great, really, to have the interpreters there. She bought a book from me. It was my author copy, but I signed it. I gifted it to her. And we're working on them, and I just got the enthusiasm, you know, from their community here. This is what we need. And it really uplifted me, Barbara. So I know I have a purpose, and I know we've been like sitting low and laying low and not doing it, but it felt really good to get out in public, and to meet. And I'm in Canada now. Okay. So, and for another week, and signing the book signing tour. And, you know, like I said, sharing the Awesome Foundation. This also what happened to World of Ability, Kurt, Sue, and all that. So I did, you know, send them a press release. I'd like to come in or visit and learn more, because I'm just here temporarily. You know, I know it takes me, you know, if you are really doing something, it takes a couple of weeks to apply for it. But the good thing was the librarian went to school at Hawaii Pacific University. So she was Asian Hawaiian. She knew what I was talking about. I wore a red and white lei because it was Aloha Pride. I'm in Canada, and I wore it. So she knew like what I was talking about, the characters. I got my red and white lei here. I wore that yesterday for Aloha Friday. And the other librarian came over, and they looked at the books and showing them the app games, the YouTube channel ideas, the programs. And she just came back and goes, you know what, you're going to do very well. And I said, good, thank you, because this is what the world needs. And here we go. So it's been, you know, a long journey to write and create. And the music, again, I see the vision of bringing them into animation movies with the sign language characters. And that conversations with Leon. He should be joining us. Suzanne Sims, my writer, 2 weeks ago for 2 hours. I was signing with my deaf friend, getting his feedback for being in the deaf culture and the deaf community. And it's all coming together. So I know when all this comes out, it is in divine order. And I'm so excited to share that with you, Mark. And thank you for being a teacher. Thank you for being a teacher as well. So I am learning, and I'm sharing the experiences here in Vancouver, and aloha. We'll wait for Leon to come. He's going to be in Seattle. I'm sorry I couldn't join him down there in Seattle. I did buy the boots with the fur to go down there, but I'm going to Vancouver Island to meet up with my other captain that I sailed with from San Carlos to Mazatlan. Cheryl actually brought dentists down to a city in Mexico to do dental work for the community. And I want to share too, I applied for Awesome Foundation again. Thank you very much. They called me back, want to know, when are you going to the Hawaii School for the Deaf? They just called me this week. I said, Monday, we got everything being shipped and the water unit and a new press release so we can multiply it, Barbara, to other schools in the 50 United States for the deaf and blind schools also as well. But getting back, Cheryl helped these dentists come down to help the community. And I applied for On the Water, that we want 6 water units for $1,000 from Leon, we can sail them down to these Mexico cities, to these dentists, to these hospitals. And they're, oh, by the way, they're building a brand new hospital in San Carlos, Mexico, where I currently have been going with the captain down there. And it's over 100 degrees, 110. Another Canadian friend, sailor, came down. She's using the apartment and she was like, oh my God. I said, yeah. And I'm up here in fur. And I said, this feels so good. And it's raining and it's a nice change. So I just wanted to share that we're working hard. And also too, I've been on the disability channel every week with Jay Stoyan, because part of that grant, Barbara, I hired Jay Stoyan on the Disability Channel, Toronto. I hire persons with disabilities and veterans to interview me for my book series. So they're positioning the books and everything. What a great team I have here. Thank you, Kurt Roskoff, Emily, Sue. Christian is working on the website. Trevor Gibbs I spoke to for the ADA website compliance, getting things out there. Awesome Grant Foundation, Catherine, for giving me that $1,000 and following up. And we got things moving. And Jay Stoyan and his team, and Dr. Liddy's joined us. So it's just been amazing. Door opening. Taking that 15 minutes, Barbara, I just want to tell you, same thing with Donors Choose. It took me 15 minutes to apply for $1,000 grant that they give away every month. That's $12,000 a year. This chapter, Hawaii Gives. They want you to use the money. It's up to you. Tell us about your awesome projects, what you can do for your community. I got it. They do it in Canada. They do it in Australia. I applied for Pakistan. I'm calling all the deaf schools. I'm sharing that with Kurt and Sue. There's the disability and on the water that they could apply for equipment for next year. They want to hear stories. It took me 15 minutes to apply. One, tell us about our awesome grant foundation. And tell us about your awesome projects. Two, how will you use the money? Well, guess what? I'm sending books, coloring books now to the Hawaii School for the Deaf and the elementary children to get coloring books now. And Leon McLaughlin, we paid him $150 for a water unit. It got shipped to him. He's taking it to Hawaii this weekend or next week. And look at that. Just like Donors Choose. It's so easy. Just apply. It's there. And then there you go. You're gifting somebody. Isn't that awesome, Barbara? So I just wanted to share that with you too. So that's my new end of the year gift to everybody too, with Santa Papa John, and share that with the schools too. And prayers for, you know, Florida people in North Carolina with hurricane. I haven't really followed that much because I've been traveling. But yeah, so we'll find out about the Florida School for the Deaf over there in St. Augustine. And I'm calling them. And oh, by the way, Barbara, I applied for Minnesota. Awesome foundation. I got a response back. We love your coloring books, but we need somebody in Minnesota to request for the books. So guess what? Now it's back to school. I'm calling the School for the Deaf and talking to find out who is in charge of getting products, the librarian, to let them know to apply for it. And that's what we're doing. It's a lot of time and it's worth it because we have to use an interpreter, and the secretary may be hard of hearing or deaf or hearing, and the principal is deaf or not. So it is, but we're making it happen. We created a press release now. It is going to be done this weekend. I'm so excited. And we'll be sending them out to those schools. And Barbara, guess what too? So not only that, I call the Arkansas school. I'm sharing because you're a teacher. This is so many things have been happening by doing this 15-minute thing of awesome foundation. So I called the Arkansas School for the Deaf and I talked to the grant writer, and he's hearing, and I told him the story. So they're looking into it. They're going to talk to the superintendents. They're building a hospital by there. It's a campus for them. I really hope that, you know, we're going to get the books to them. I said, you know, can you see them painting the characters on there? The speech pathology department's kind of cosmetically changing. These are characters with sign language skills talking about ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change, and this is what's happening with our world now. And so, yeah, it's been a real awesome opportunity the last couple of months. Sitting inside in the air conditioning, I've been calling, and now we're going to send a press release. Now the books are flowing to the schools. Now you're going to hear the amazing stuff that's happened. So thank you so much, Barbara, for always encouraging me, encouraging us and networking here on the World of Ability. I don't know if Leon has joined us. Is Santa
I wanted to welcome Santa, who's been on here a little bit already. So welcome,
Okay,
Santa.
Santa's going to be helping us out too. Santa, sorry, I did kind of see some of this stuff, but Santa's also another social media influencer. He's going to be on our website too. We sent him coloring books and puppets, so we're Santa approved. So Santa, take it away. It's Marianne of Waikiki here in Vancouver.
Yes, Marianne, awesome. And
I got
you're
my fur.
experiencing I was going to say, you're experiencing some of that Vancouver wonderful weather like Seattle, rain, 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 rain. And then you get a little bit of cold weather. It brings you another whole reality real quick, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, Santa. So yeah, yes, it is. So it's a nice change. Needed to calm
Absolutely.
down.
We're down to 80.
And get grounded, get into nature, walking the park. And you know what? Again, walking the parks, all the children are in these parks. I'm talking to them. And Santa, we talked about Monday was a holiday in Canada, which I never knew. The truth holiday, which was a day off for everybody. So I got to network with all these parents and children here. And you told me even more, Santa, about that holiday. I never knew that. I'm from the United States. I never knew anything. If you want to share that again with our World of Ability, please do, because it's something that all of us need to be educated about. And this also too in inclusion residential schools that, our children need to come home. That was their message. And all of us do with what's happening. And they need to come home safely, Santa. And October is anti-bullying month. So our book is Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. They need to come home from the play school and the playgrounds home safely now.
Absolutely.
Not this bullying, not no physical violence, not no guns, all that kind of stuff that's happening. We need a safe environment. So take it away, Santa. I'm Marianne of Waikiki in Vancouver, Canada.
There you go, Marianne. And you know as well as I do, I am a Canadian, and I understand some of this stuff. And I'm glad that you're enjoying your time in Vancouver and you're getting some of that cooler weather that you're able to enjoy. But yes, I don't know a lot about the holiday on Monday. All I know is I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. They found a whole bunch of things that should have never been found, but how it evolved, my understanding is the Catholic Church created all these residential schools for the younger native children, and they would take them off the reservations and say, come to the schools, we'll teach you, we'll educate you. And then, of course, some of the people decided that they were going to molest and unfortunately end up killing some of these children that should have never happened. Well, they end up secretly burying them on some of these residential school properties. And there was a big discovery, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm not talking just 10 or 15. I'm talking, thousands of children that they end up finding buried on these school properties. So it was a very bad situation that unfortunately the people that ran these schools figured out they had a better plan for these children than God did, I guess. So now they've created a national holiday in Canada of awareness, of safety, of bringing together some reasons why this should never happen. And they celebrated the national holiday in Canada. So yes, not a very good situation, but the reality of it is that they are not sweeping it under the covers. They are bringing education and talking about what had happened. So it brings education to a lot of different people that were never aware, that didn't understand, that didn't know what happened of to these children. They just went missing all of a sudden. And when one or two go missing, sometimes that gets swept under, but when it becomes hundreds or thousands, it's not a very good situation.
And
No,
I
and
can
Santa,
still
and,
verify.
and Santa, and Santa, what I learned too, it just was recognized as a holiday over here in Canada in 2021. So
Okay, so that
that's
was,
why
yeah,
some of
3 years
us,
ago.
yeah, that's what my Google says. And so it was kind of like, it's like something you never heard about or we've ever talked about. And so thank you. And yeah, so I'm glad I was here. I don't want, it's not a celebration, but I did get to talk to parents about my books, Acts of Kindness for Anti-Bullying. And I got to do a book signing here. And
Awesome.
I'm gonna just, I don't want me to wrap it up here because I'm still here. Is I'm really excited because in Honolulu, Hawaii, I met my friend Leslie, and Leslie is my Canadian friend. She met my deaf friend Scott. She works for the movies.
We're holding
And
the
she's
same
got,
book. Look at that.
yeah, Dr. October is the anti-bullying one. Look at them. Look at them.
Yep. Awesome.
So, Sienna, she is Leslie, the makeup artist at the back of the book, and she's my friend, and she knows my deaf friend. We all were good friends in Hawaii. She does movies and all that. I got to do some be on movies and sign language interpret for deaf families that want to come and audition. What a kind of, a lot of different job opportunities, so to speak. So anyway, she's Leslie the Canadian Goose. She has a chapter here. She's Make Up Your Mind, Leslie. So when you read it, I'm meeting her pretty soon here. And we're down here by Vancouver, the film building. And we're gonna have lunch. I haven't seen her in a couple of years. I'm excited. I hope she shares this too. She was just with some people with the movies that won the Emmys. And
Awesome.
yeah. So Santa, when you take a look, this is who I'm going to be having lunch with is Leslie the Canadian Goose. And she was really good friends with me and my deaf friend Scott. And I want to be book signing this for her too as well. And so we shared the book, the other book, Pono the Hawaiian Polo Pony. I was at the library here. I met interpreters and people with hearing loss, cochlear implants. They were so excited. Just excited. They were excited. I was excited. And yeah, that book is sold. I sold out this book over here. But we're getting the message out, Sienna, and thank you so much as well. So again, Barbara, I want to share you so much. And I wanted to share this today too again. It was a very learning experience of going over to the library, thinking like the little children were more, I would say not an audience, everybody's an audience, but the universe ended up putting up because I got to stay there and talk with a lot of different colleagues and conference, especially the sign language interpreters here in Vancouver and the deaf community. They love it. We need more of it. And they want to know how. In Santa, the librarian went to Hawaii Pacific University. She was Asian Pacific. She told me you're going to do so well. And the other librarian too, seeing the books and puppets. Thank you so much. And this is what the world, we need to get them out there. So I appreciate you and your support and your background as a teacher, Barbara. Santa, who you do and what you do and continue to do. Leon may be joining us. Thank you, Kurt Roskoff, our podcast host, and Emily Gomar, the podcast engineer. Back to you. Leslie will be here.
Briefly share what Santa Papa John was sharing. How I became aware of that was at the Shakespeare Festival that happens in Oregon for 3 months coming into fall. And people who went through that put together a play to bring to a playhouse to help
can I get a Corona?
Of what they went through. And so that's one way.
I'm sorry.
Getting people to become aware, getting information out there. So just sharing, that was powerful. The artists can make such a change in the world. You look at the song Imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely, Barbara. And I mean, it's getting the word out. It's getting the word shared. You know, a lot of people don't know about certain things and they need to be educated. They need to be told. They need to be informed. And the more people that we can find out doing stuff like that, the better off the world's going to be, because we're going to be learning, we're going to be teaching, we're going to be, changing some attitudes that need to be adjusted a little bit, Barbara. So yeah, you're so correct. You're so right and it's not, we're not looking to make the giant steps. We're looking to make the baby steps, because the baby steps need to be done, need to be informed, and need to be encouraged, so that we can inform more people. Because the old proverbial, you tell one person, they tell two people, they tell two people, all of a sudden you're reaching a goal or an audience of thousands when you started off with two people. And the more we can share this, the more we can educate people, I guess is the proper terms, is the better off we're going to be to be able to help other people understand the whole concept.
See, and I just want to share with you too, they were so excited to hear about Awesome Foundation, the grant. And I was telling them how easy, and I was telling Barbara, it took me 15 minutes to apply for it, and I won it in July. And there's
Wow.
different cities and different chapters, different
Yep.
categories. They want to give you $1,000. They're like Oprah. That's what I was like. You get 1,000, you get 1,000. We were all laughing in the Vancouver, or I mean, in the library. And I go, I'm not Oprah, but guess what? You guys get it. They want projects like this. And if I'm a leading example, great. And we are multiplying that acts of kindness, because one, Leon McLaughlin will be in Honolulu, Hawaii next week, Monday the 14th. The Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind are going to be receiving the first book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for Anti-Bullying Month, and some signing characters that go with the book, and a water unit, Santa, a clean water filter. Everybody deserves that. That's our birthright. So that
Absolutely.
grant sponsored $150 filter. And that's what we're doing. We want to multiply this now. Suzanne Sims, my writer, is writing a different press release. We'll be getting that out there with Christian Mendez. You met with Christian too. We're updating the website. We're making the movement happen. We're multiplying these acts of kindness. And Leon is doing a fundraiser in Seattle. I wasn't able to attend. We wish him well. And his birthday is October 10th. So I'm trying
Wow.
to get the book done. I'm trying to get the book done too, for his birthday. And 3 years ago, we were at the Modern Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii, with Happy Neighborhood Project. Kurt, Emily, Sue, a lot of us started networking during the pandemic. Leanne was in town. We were able to, move, socialize, go out, have a wristband, go talk with a mask. I talked about talking with a mask is, social spatial distancing 3 years ago, networking. And that was, I think, 3 years ago, 2021. And I was in Hawaii, and Leanne was there also too. And speaking with our writer, Suzanne, and one of our editors, Kent Linkers. So the projects are coming around. And I know the world hasn't heard it. You guys have heard it multiple times, but we want to multiply these acts of kindness. Dr. Liddy is in Dallas, and she just said, wonderful. And she's also too. So welcome, Debbie. I'm Marianne of
Hello.
Waikiki in Vancouver, Canada, for the next couple of days. I'm waiting for my friend Leslie. She's also part of the group. She's with the filmmakers. And hopefully maybe she has some connections to Netflix, to the filmmakers, to bring these into animation movies with the sign language characters. So go out and play. I'm Marianne of Waikiki, and aloha from Vancouver, Canada.
Welcome,
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Papa John?
I am awesome. I've had a good meeting, and I had to take Mama to a couple stores. So we got some, got to keep Mama happy, right? And get some stuff that she needs, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll keep
exactly.
Santa, Mrs. Claus happy. Yep.
Oh,
I
yes.
have
Got to keep
one.
Mrs. Claus happy. Absolutely. So what's going on in Debbie's world today?
Oh my gosh. Um, I've been napping off and on all morning.
Ah, well, you've been self-medicating because that leads to more productivity.
That's true. That's
It
true.
is Saturday, so.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Well,
is.
okay, in fairness to myself, we in Southern Arizona, some of you know this, Emily, you might have heard it before, but we have produce rescue. Other people have we have animal rescue also, but we have produce rescue. And this organization, this nonprofit, goes around to has different set locations. Like where I go, that's near me, is always the first Saturday of the month. So this time of year, they start at 6 a.m. and it's 70 pounds of produce for $15. It's really unbelievable. So
Well,
the dog and I left to go to get in line for produce rescue about 5:20. So we were home by close to 6:20 because we were right at the front of the line. But yeah, it's just there's no income requirements or anything like that. If you want to get fresh produce, you have to take a look at it pretty closely initially because sometimes there's a few that are bad. And if you just ignore them for a few days, then you'll end up with a whole bunch that are bad. But anyway, so it's not like I slept all morning, obviously. I went
no,
ahead, yeah, I went ahead and got on the Great Recovery Discovery from what time is that my time? From 7 to 8 my time. And then after that, I've been sort of taking a little snooze off and on.
well, it's
So
always a good day to take it easy a little bit.
it is, yep. Sooner or later, I need to do some work, but that's okay.
Yeah, we don't need to rush into things, especially on a Saturday.
No,
If not
exactly.
necessary.
Yeah.
So I know you.
How can Kurt's note taker not be hearing us?
I am not sure,
He's gonna
but
leave. He's gonna leave if we don't speak in a minute, but we've been speaking. So bye, note taker.
um, but I know I've been working with you on your own show, Debbie. World of Pets. You wanna say anything about that?
Sure, thanks. The World of Pets at World of Pets podcast. You can find it on YouTube. And our podcast person is Emily, so she does a really good job for us. We do go live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Although I was hearing somebody talk about pre-recorded the other day, Emily, and that sounded very, very tempting. And then we wouldn't have to worry about, that specific time on Tuesday night. Everything would be set up and people could just go in and watch. But anyway, that's for future discussion. But let's see. We've done a variety of things. One thing is talk about different types of pets. We've had people, obviously, we talked quite a bit about dogs. We really haven't talked that much about cats. So if there's anybody out there that really is interested in cats and has a lot to say about cats and the benefit of having them as pets, that would be great. Let's see, Emily, what do we have? We had rabbits and tortoises that Lisa Benson talked about.
I mean, like chickens.
Chickens, right. That was Amy. And Amy has her own podcast. We should post that too on our podcast site. Anything else? I think
Trying to remember.
I have somebody in fact, she said to call her back in October. I have somebody that has goats
Oh,
and
well done.
she agreed to come on. She actually, I mean, I know that she treats her goats as pets, but she also makes products. She makes soap, she makes sunscreen. I won't try to tell you all because I'll leave something out, but she makes products with the goat's milk.
Oh, interesting.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh,
So she agreed to come on. So I'm glad. See, it was the reason that I hopped on here, Emily, because you reminded me that I needed to call her back.
there you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that kick a little bit, Debbie.
Yeah. But we've also, in addition to that, we've also done things that were focused on service dogs. Um, we have a fella who just had his dog trained as a service dog, and he's been on several times. We've seen his dog Cobb um, go from just being a really good dog to being a really on the spot service dog, so to speak.
Well,
And
and Deb, if I may
yeah,
interject, the service dogs, that takes quite a bit of training. And I don't know about Arizona, but I think Minnesota only has, I know one place because my brother-in-law has a service dog and he helps with the training. But I think there's only one in Minnesota. There might be a second place, but Arizona might be a little bit more because of the population and the amount of people that need service dogs. And what I've been told is these places always have a waiting list for people that
Ability
require service
podcast. I'm a
dogs.
sign language interpreter, but I talk.
yeah. Um, so the program that he found out about, and he was, I mean, he should be back in Arizona now, but he went up to Washington State and lives with his folks for a while because he was getting some medical treatments. Um, so he found out about a way that he could get his dog trained at the Idaho State Penitentiary. And there are some states that have that, which to me is, I mean, it gives me goosebumps to think about the fact that these prisoners are able to learn that skill.
Aloha.
Hi. Um,
No,
of
I do not
of
see
learn
it
that
now.
skill of
But I know why I can't.
training the animals. Um, so it was, you know, he ended up finishing that up online, but and he's gotten other some other organizations lined up that we could give people information. So one of the things that we had, one of the episodes was actually are you a good fit for a service dog? Because John, a lot of those programs charge like around $50,000 for their dogs. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
about the one in Minnesota. So he ended up paying, he said, and I think this included the food that he had to take to the penitentiary when the animal was being trained for 2 months. Which I laugh at him and say, "What do you mean you weren't going to feed the dog for 2 months?" You know, so how can you say that that's part of the cost of
Yeah.
training, right? If it's something you would be spending anyway. But yeah, he ended up including that food. It was like $350.
Wow.
So there are some programs. He said he found out about one in
Yeah.
Arizona, and I saw one. I don't know how much it is. There was one in Southern California. I just, you know, I saw it on television. I think they mentioned it actually because they had a lot of the service dogs at the Padres game, and we were watching the Padres play the Diamondbacks probably.
Okay.
But yeah, they're so I think our point is to try to let people know that it's possible to do it without that huge expense. And
Well,
obviously,
and just to get the word out that there are places available in each state, and that's what I'm doing with my veteran list as well, is allowing people to find these places. Not that some of them, don't want to be found because they've already got such a big demand already. But
right,
the reality of it is if we can help people get the word out so that these veterans can find these places to find to train these dogs, because it is quite a training process, my
Right,
understanding,
right.
you know.
Yeah. And Anthony is a veteran, but part of what we were doing is trying to make sure that people knew that they did not have, there are organizations available where they can do it inexpensively, even if they're not a veteran.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yep.
that's, but yeah, I'd be
Because
interested in getting that information from you just to keep. And Anthony has an aunt in, I think it's Michigan, who was her dog, they trained as a service dog just because of her advanced age. She's afraid of falling. I
right,
mean, what the animals can be trained to do is so amazing, because this dog was trained that if she started to fall, the dog would move over to the direction that she was going to fall. So either if she ended up actually falling, she would land on the dog, or she knew that she could like put her hand on the dog to steady herself.
right.
And of course,
Yep,
we all know that
absolutely.
not only the PTSD, but um, people that have epilepsy, the dogs can sense.
Oh
I
yeah.
think
Yep.
because of the change of a person's chemical responses to things, so that they can make sure that that person isn't, you know, alert that person to be in a safe place
Yeah.
because they're about to have an epileptic seizure. It's just
But you bring to
phenomenal.
the point, Deb, you bring to the point that it's not just veterans that require the services of these dogs. You know,
Uh-huh.
like you said, it's epilepsy, it's EMTs, it's sometimes doctors, it's nurses, firefighters. There's so many people that run into different job, different careers that end up with PTSD from their different jobs. They don't have to be just veterans. And you know, they require services. I ran into a guy when I was on a networking group here. I got to get it. I got to go back onto find those notes. But he created a program where he can eliminate PTSD in 6 minutes on anybody, and it's
Wow.
revolutionized, and he's going up and down the East Coast. And you know, one of the examples he gave was a woman. Was she a police officer or a firefighter? One of them. But he went in there and gave this test to find out that she does have PTSD, and there's two ratings, and one was 84 out of 84 and one was 27 out of 27. I can't remember the terminology that he was using, but he gave her this test and went back a week later, and the numbers were cut down almost 80%.
Wow.
So
That's
that's
phenomenal.
huge. That's huge
Right.
for PTSD, because you know, there's a lot of psychologists and doctors just talk and say, "Oh, here's some medication," instead of
Yeah.
finding out the root of the problem. And we've
Right.
seen that
Exactly.
on many different things besides PTSD.
Yeah.
So,
And we had another, I had a guest a couple weeks ago whose daughter has autism, and she said that that her daughter would benefit from a service dog because of the severity of her autism.
really, that's
So,
interesting. I haven't
uh-huh.
heard that. But I can
I
see
hadn't heard
the
it before either.
but the person with autism would um be able to build a relationship with that type of a dog, because the dog
Right.
is going to be so gentle and caring,
Yeah.
and the person with autism would be able to bond with that type of dog.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's another whole situation where there is definitely not enough training facilities for the needs of the people. It's not just veterans, but the needs of the people, because we keep
Right.
finding out how service dogs can help someone with another type of disease or affection or whatever you want to call it, that a dog could really benefit from them.
Yes. Yeah. So that's another thing that we have focused on. Um, I do market immune support products for a company that has a medicinal mushroom in it that will help pets and humans. And so a couple of times we've talked about that, talked about the benefits of the mushroom, given some stories of people and pets that have been helped by that. So that's another thing that we've done. So you can go, one day we talked about senior dogs, about adopting senior dogs,
Yep.
dogs. So various things, if anybody out there has any ideas for me for topics, that would be great. But basically, we like to discover everything about pets.
And this is on your podcast, Deb.
This is the podcast, right? World of Pets podcast, part of the World of Ability podcast network.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how long have you been doing that?
Oh my gosh, Emily, almost a year. Has it been almost? I think it's been almost a year, hasn't it?
But it's been quite that long, but the last
Yeah.
few months here.
Okay.
So
But we're getting there.
yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, please get on there, take a look at it, like and share.
And that's
Subscribe.
such a key component right there, Deb, is, and that's why I do on Sundays, I do my video. I do a daily video, but on Sunday, it's Support Your Friend's Small Business Sunday, as I call it, where
Uh-huh.
you go on and help and support your small friend's business by liking, sharing, and commenting on their posts on their website, on their, Facebook page and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, definitely, if everybody just goes and likes and shares and comments, how many more doors are we going to be able to open up?
Right,
You know?
right. Thank you, John. I'll be looking for your comments.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to, are you, where is your, have you got a Facebook page or you just got a website?
We just, oh, for the podcast,
Yeah.
Emily, answer the question. I think it's just
Uh,
the YouTube. Oh, well,
yeah, well,
Facebook, that's right.
we have the YouTube channel. There's a LinkedIn page. I have to redo the Facebook page. But I'm putting the YouTube channel in the chat. And there's a LinkedIn page here too.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Santa, I know
Done. Subscribed.
Thank you.
Santa, I know we've been helping you with your thing every month, every couple Mondays a month too. I don't know if you want to say anything quick about that or not. Let everybody
Well,
join both things.
yeah, Santa's got his networking with Santa on Monday at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time. If you want to come and network with Santa, and we share some giggles and laughs, but we share information on how we can help each other grow and build, and some of the new exciting things that Santa's doing, and I find out how I can help other people share their information about what they're doing. It's a fun hour of communicating with each other and sharing ideas. And we even get some questions every now and then too. So it's a fun time. So networking with Santa at 5 o'clock Central, first and third Mondays of the month, right here on with Emily. And Emily does a
That's
great job.
happened. I kind of joked and I was getting
Oops,
Oh, that's
accidentally muted you too.
It's okay. But yeah, I mean, Emily, and she helps you, Debbie. She helps me, and we get the word out. We get the the more people we can tell about what we're doing, Deb, the more people are going to be able to hear.
right. And I don't know, did you talk about Project Die Hard today before I got here?
I
Not
mentioned about,
really, we haven't.
okay. I
Okay,
mean, I had mentioned about the show and whatever before these guys got on here, but
yeah,
Yeah. But
you
I'm
gotta
gonna have
just
to jump. I
detail
mean, yes, we're both involved with Project Diehard, and they're doing great things one step at a time. They've got some great people involved, and they've got a big project of trying to get a facility set up to house some veterans that are in dire need. And we all need the support to help them make this dream a reality. And 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Deb, they had a bunch of veterans come down from Chicago and spent the whole weekend doing some cleaning and some brush clearing, and I think they did some painting, as if I remember right, and brought the whole facility up a couple steps closer to being reality.
right. Yeah, the pictures looked great.
They sure did. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and don't forget about their breakfast once a month, where the
Yes.
veterans come to IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky, and eat for free and are able to socialize. I don't know, do they have a program?
I'm not sure. I
Emily,
think
do
it's
you know?
just,
Do they have like a speaker or something when they have their monthly breakfast at Project Die Hard?
I'm not sure if they have a monthly speaker or not. I just know that they meet there every first Wednesday of the month. Um, uh, and yeah, I'm not sure if they have a speaker or not, but
Yeah,
awesome.
whatever
I
they're
got to
doing good.
jump to another meeting, ladies. So enjoy the rest of your day. This has been fun as usual. Emily, you do a great job and look forward to checking out some of your videos, Deb. So we'll talk again
Okay,
soon,
thank
guys.
you.
Awesome. Bye for
Yeah,
now.
sounds
when we finish here, I'm getting ready to go to Culver's.
good.
I'll put in a plug for my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, of course.
Our flavor of the day today is the best flavor ever, dark
Right.
chocolate peanut butter.
Okay. Oh, look who decided to join us. Hi,
Hey,
Kurt.
how about that? Hello, Kurt.
Hi, Debbie, Emily, Mary Ann, and the crew. How we all doing?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Good, thank
Kurt,
you.
you just missed Santa. We had Santa on for a little bit too. Yeah, Santa just had to hop
Can you
off.
hear us? Kurt, can you hear us?
Yep, we can hear you.
I
All
can
right,
hear you.
Kurt, this is Leslie Graham. She's one of our good friends from Hawaii. She is a makeup artist that's worked on several movie sets around the world. Hi, everybody. She is in our newest book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. She is a Canadian goose. We are up here in Vancouver, Canada. She knew my deaf friend Scott, and in honor of her, we have her in the book and a paragraph about her. So, Leslie, take it away. Tell us where you've been. You've been to the Emmys recently, and our other friend too, who also met my deaf friend Scott in Honolulu, drove us around Kailua, and his sister works with the deaf also too. Right. And I book signed in Vancouver up here. Take it away, you guys. Here, I'm so excited to share with you live from Canada.
Oh, well, thanks, Marianne. I'm really excited to be here and seeing you for the first time in pre-pandemic, I guess it is. And thank you for including me in your beautiful book. I'm really thrilled. I'm a Canadian goose, born and raised in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I am Leslie.
Hawaii.
Leslie, I got to get that right.
Well, and that's
Leslie.
okay because people with an impediment, speaking or hearing loss, it sounds like this. Leslie. Okay.
As this is.
And so go out and play as our tagline, Kurt. So go take it away again, Leslie. Leslie.
The Canadian goose. Well, I will just share that I just had the most amazing experience in Los Angeles last month. I'm in a makeup department, and our team was nominated for a TV series called Shogun, and we won Best Outstanding Dramatic Makeup for non-prosthetics category, and we won the Emmy on September the 8th. So we were in Los Angeles to accept that, and it was probably the biggest thrill of my life, actually.
Yeah,
Very
congratulations,
excited.
John. That's James Michener's Shogun.
James Clavell's Shogun originally, yes, and his daughter Michaela came out to visit the set, and it was a real privilege to work with so many Japanese cast and learn from them their culture and their language. So yeah, it was a real thrill. Yeah. That's really, that's what's been going on. I just finished a show called The Last of Us, which is based on a video game. We finished that end of August, and now I'm on to the next show, which starts Monday. Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was originally a kids animated series that's turned live action. That is available. The first season is on Netflix now, and Shogun's airing on Disney Plus and Hulu if you're in the US.
Yeah. So yes, that's our friend Leslie. So Leslie, I have a couple questions. You met Mr. Scott and I way back in the day for over a decade. Please tell us what it's like to interact with me and Scott and our chemistry and the characters in the book, and what it's like for Scott to be deaf but speaks very well.
He was singing karaoke, which the first night I met him, I met you guys at a wedding in Hawaii. And we went out after the wedding and he was singing karaoke, and I was so amazed. It was an amazing experience meeting both of you. It was always fun. There was always a lot of animation and silliness and laughter. And you really showed me what it was like to live there and become Hawaiian. So thank you for that. And we've been friends ever since. So.
Well, we have to share the good news too with your Vancouver hard of hearing deaf community up here. We want to multiply the acts of kindness. Again, I won the Awesome Foundation Award in Honolulu, Hawaii. Everybody has their opportunity to apply on Awesome Foundation. They give $1,000 away a month to people with projects in different states, countries, and everything. So please join us. You got to drive my deaf friend Scott too. No, you're gonna be live here on the World of Ability podcast every Saturday. We're here from 11 to 1. And please tell us about your story with us.
Wow, thank you. My name's David Clark. I'm a good friend of Leslie Rams, the world famous makeup artist, the Canadian Goose. So just wish everybody a happy Saturday, and I'm lucky to be here. Thank you.
Tell us about your experience of meeting Deaf Scotty in Hawaii.
Well, it was June 5th,
Wow.
2018. I
Thanks.
believe it was a Tuesday. And we rolled up with the Escalade, and then we on our way to Kailua. We had a nice afternoon, and we had some cocktails, did a little shopping, and then back to his humble abode in Honolulu, and the rest is history.
There you go.
Nice young man.
And you know what? He graduated. He got his veterinary assistance in San Diego after he left right prior to COVID. He told me he was leaving. He was on his next journey. I'm so proud of him. And he's part of this book animation too, because he's so gifted and intuitively about the characters, passionate about ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, climate change. He's my inspiration. I got to sign for him for 10 years in Hawaii, and you too. And you have your sister signed?
My sister is a teacher's assistant at Tecumseh Elementary in Vancouver, where she does sign and braille and teaches a running class with sight challenged people, and has a great program there. She's loved. Yeah, she's loved.
Awesome.
She's dedicated. So love you, Scotty. Hope you're good. Hope you're out there being a good guy.
And this is World of Ability podcast going worldwide. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. There you go. Do I have some testimonials or what here in Vancouver? Aloha. Did they end?
Aloha. So, Canada. Way to go, Canada. So here we are in the US side of the equation. So we got a American Canadian connection going on here as we wrap up, and big reminder on what we're doing with the Disability Channel, providing inclusive media for the Invictus Games organized.
And Mrs. Gates will come out here. Yeah. State historians working with the Prince Harry.
Yeah, so with Whistler, Canada, there's going to be a lot of sports played by our injured and wounded service men and women, and so we're very honored and excited for that February event. going on up there in Canada. So we'll be following the event developments all along the way and having some journalized interactions with some of the athletes. So what a big deal. So thanks for joining us, everybody, for this, your TDC Today's Inspired World of Ability podcast show. And, letting us come in here and have this space for inclusion, accessibility, and accommodation, and looking at all parts of life, and to say, how can we make that thing available for everybody? That's what we do here, folks. I'm Kurt Roskoff. I'm co-founder of the World of Ability, and pleased, proud, and privileged to be working with Marianne and the crew on acts of kindness that fits in so well with our mission here at the World
With
of Ability.
Leslie here. This is Leslie.
Yeah,
This
way
is
to go, Leslie.
Leslie.
Yeah, so
Our Canadian
we
goose,
appreciate
and
all
she was friends. She was friends with Harry the Hard of Hearing Rabbit. She's the inspiration as well.
there we go. There you go. Our infamed inspirational connections here coming to us across the border, Canada to the US, to go all around the world. So please stay tuned for next week's episode of The World of Ability. Again, 1 to 2 Central Time, 11 to 1 Pacific. And then we have our shows going all week long, and we have a sister show, Ability MKE, now on Wednesday evenings. If you have any questions about it, feel free to call and text me anytime, 262-372-1754. Emails can come to me all day long, every day.
I didn't know I
Kurt,
was left-handed. I don't
K-U-R-T,
sign out the handed. Why am?
at spiritofthegame.org. So with that, we'll sign off here, and we'll have a little check-in with our podcast engineer, Emily Gomer, who I think might be a little distracted with a planning committee meeting. In 1 month, we're going to have the Autism Integral Conference taking place, reaching people deeply in South Central Wisconsin on all things living the life with autism. And then they are building out further participants from out and around away from South Central Wisconsin.